Super Sunday as a delicious game of cricket awaits us. It's KL Rahul, Kings of 11 Punjab versus Steve Smith and the Rajasthan Royals. This one is all about pride. This one is all about gaining a psychological advantage earlier on in the competition. This is Lights Camera Cricket. I am Sushant Mehta. Ahead in the show, a special excerpt of an interview with KL Rahul.
Looking forward to, seeing myself in a leadership role, because I haven't seen how I react when you're leading the team.
Both captains are in sublime form. A loss is not an option for either side. Let's now break down the big battles, the key battles that may decide this contest. First up, what a mouth-watering contest this is. Jos Buttler, who joins the team back. He's back from quarantine, up against someone who, in my book, is by far the best bowler in the IPL as of now. It's Shami. He will give Buttler a very hostile welcome. Remember, Shami, in his game against RCB, picked up 1 wicket for just 14 runs. Against Delhi Capitals, 3 wickets for just 15 runs. So will Buttler be able to handle the deadly Shami and the Shami storm? I'm joined now by Boria Majumdar. Boria, Buttler versus Shami.
Very well. I thought you said it very well that you called him the best bowler of the IPL. Maybe along with Jofra Archer on the other side, he is. And Buttler is coming back after a bit of a layoff. I mean, in terms of quarantine, that England-Australia series is now about 13, 14 days old. So he's not played close to 2 weeks. So when he's not played competitive cricket for 2 weeks, even if you are in red-hot form, against a bowler of Shami's caliber, you will give a chance. You will look a bit rusty. And if Shami gets his seam early on and gets the ball to move with a slip in place, I'm sure KL Rahul will put a slip in place, will go for the attack against Jos Buttler. So to put it straight, I think because of the fact that Buttler is coming off a layoff, it's advantage Shami.
Exactly. I mean, it's unfair for us to expect that Buttler will just come in and start smashing the likes of Shami all around the park. But what is it about Shami, Boria? I mean, this time around, he just seems like a notch above everybody else.
Two things, Sushant. Two things. One, fitness. Look at the fellow and what he's done to himself in terms of Mohammad Shami from 2016-17, Mohammad Shami of now. I had a chat with him about, what, a month and a half ago. He said he's given up on biryani. He's given up on every sort of so-called Bengali and North Indian delicacy that he loved. Yes, he still has biryani, but on a day that he does well. So, and he's at his best in terms of momentum. And KL Rahul in that interview said, look at the seam position, Dada. When he bowls at the nets, look at that seam position, peach. So he's in that prime of his life, where everything is falling in place. He wants to play the World Cup. He wants to play the World T20 next year. So he knows how important this IPL is. All said and done, Mohammad Shami equal to best patch.
Well, let's now talk about the next big contest. This is also a mouth-watering contest, guys. It's Captain Steve Smith. He led by example, promoted himself in the order. In his opening battle against Chennai Super Kings, he smashed them. 69 runs of just 47 balls, 4 sixes, 4 fours, but he will be up against the salute of annihilation. That's Sheldon Cottrell. 2 wickets for 17 runs against RCB in just 3 overs. Then again, 2 wickets for 24 runs against Delhi. As of today, at this stage in the competition, Steve Smith's sheer will to win seems to be a notch above everybody else in the competition, but he will have his work cut out against Shami and Cottrell. Boria, Smith versus Cottrell.
Again, Sushant, I don't know, you and I are in agreement on everything today. I mean, yes, I mean, when you said the will, that's the word. That's the word. I mean, when Steve Smith made that comeback, trust me, I thought this man is coming back after a layoff of 3 weeks, concussion, hasn't played cricket, all of that, and he will look rusty. From ball one, he started middling it. He started middling those from middle stump, getting them to mid-wicket, getting them to fine leg, and then got into groove as if it's yesterday that he played. That's Steve Smith. Incredible hand-up. I mean, you tend to think that every time you will get his foot in front of the middle stump, and somehow that bat comes around on time and the ball goes like a silken thing to either a mid-wicket boundary or a square boundary. Unbelievable. I will rate Steve Smith ahead of Sheldon Cottrell.
But Cottrell, come on. Cottrell has been outstanding, Boria. He's almost been unplayable. Nobody has been able to manage him properly till now.
If you see the wicket, if you see the Virat wicket, that was a giveaway. I mean, that's not Virat Kohli getting out to a normal player. I mean, just stand, it just went up in the air. I mean, if you see the wickets of, no disrespect, Sushant, no disrespect, but if you see the wickets to Shami, and if you see the wickets to Cottrell, you will know what I'm saying. Shami are unplayable balls. Cottrell, bit of a batsman's mistake. Steve Smith is one of those guys who eliminates mistakes. You will not see a rash shot, which is why I think it's Steve Smith ahead.
Now, before we move on to Punjab's batsmen and Rajasthan's bowlers, we just have to talk about Sanju Samson. His absolutely hypnotic knock against Chennai Super Kings, 74 runs of just 32 balls, 1 4 and 9 sixes, huge sixes mind you, smooth as can be, still the best innings in this IPL till so far according to me. Yes, even better than what KL Rahul, slightly better I'd say, because he was just unbelievable when he was smashing the ball. In fact, Gautam Gambhir called Sanju Samson the best young Indian player that we have, period. But Boria, consistency has been an issue with Samson. What are you expecting from Sanju Samson today? Are we going to see him again at number 3? What's going to happen? Yashasvi Jaiswal, Buttler open the innings, Sanju Samson number 3, Steve Smith number 4. That's what's going to happen?
Maybe that, but think about it. I mean, somebody in this level of form, and where is the match? The match is in Sharjah. So it's a small ground with 60-meter, 65-meter boundary, so you know it's a 200 game. So let's tell our viewers, both Sushant and I feel it's a 200-plus game, and that's what we are predicting here on India Today. When somebody is in that kind of form, would you want to bat him lower? No, maybe not. I mean, Sanju Samson, who knows? Take a punt, get him to open with Buttler. Maybe number 3. Still, it's okay, but Sanju Samson has to get maximum balls. And every year, there's been one breakthrough player in the IPL. 2008, Yusuf Pathan, and I can rattle on. Is this Sanju Samson's year? Sanju Samson knocking the door, knocking the door, knocking the door. Now push open the door, come in. So that's the kind of form he's in, right? Sanju Samson, incredible form. And you are right, you are absolutely right. Those kind of sixes, I mean, it's like sublime silken grace, he's killing you. That was brilliant to see. And who contains him? The only fellow who can contain him in this form is again Mohammad Shami.
Right. Moving on, beyond Smith, Buttler and Samson versus Shami and Cottrell. My favorite contest to watch in this entire game will be KL Rahul versus the lightning quick, frightening Jofra Archer. KL Rahul made 132 runs, the highest scored by an Indian in the IPL ever, but he will face Archer in tonight's game. Archer picked up 1 wicket for 26 runs against CSK, and very interestingly, he also smashed 27 runs in just 8 balls. So both players are feeling good. It will be fireworks either way in Sharjah. So, who wins? KL Rahul or Jofra Archer? Boria?
This is a tough one to call. This is a real tough one to call, Sushant. Very tough one. If I was KL Rahul, I mean, in this level of form, and look at the others in that Rajasthan lineup, just give Archer his couple of overs and respect him. Just give Archer, because then you have Shreyas Gopal, Rahul Tewatia, Tom Curran, Jaydev Unadkat, and KL Rahul can make mincemeat of it. There's no question. You know, it's like, okay, give the man his respect. He'll bowl 2 maybe up front, give it to him, and then take it on. But KL Rahul versus Archer, if you really pitch it like that, it's a very close one to call. Given Sharjah, given the wicket, given the form, maybe 51-49 Rahul.
51-49 Rahul. You know, I love that you say that, because I think Rahul can take apart Jofra Archer even with the classic cricket shots.
Yes, he can.
Those late cuts last time around, you know, through the ground, no risk shots. Against Archer, that could be very effective. Well, moving on. Finally, someone who really impressed me a lot, someone who has not lived up to his reputation thus far in the competition. It's Glenn Maxwell versus Tewatia. On a pitch where as many as 416 runs were scored in the Rajasthan Royals game, Tewatia finished with 3 wickets for 37 runs. He got the crucial wicket of Shane Watson and even managed to fox Sam Curran after being hit for 2 sixes consecutively by Sam Curran. Maxwell, who's simply a killer with the bat, made just 5 runs against RCB, batting first, and just 1 run against Delhi while chasing 157. So, they've got Shreyas Gopal, but I am looking forward to watching Tewatia versus Glenn Maxwell. Boria.
Rahul Tewatia has been around for a while, but that day he was bowling with a 220 behind him, Sushant. I mean, when you have 220 behind you with an asking rate of 13, 14, 15, it's a different game. It's a different game. You know there's a mistake coming. But if it's Tewatia bowling first to Maxwell, then they are batting first. It's a different ball game altogether. Maxwell will know that he can go for it. He knows that there is batting after him. He knows that the lower middle order is fairly decent for Kings 11 Punjab. So this one, if you really just go by merit in a Sharjah wicket, it has to be Glenn Maxwell.
Glenn Maxwell, finally, he's going to break the jinx and give us some youth sixes tonight. But, Boria, win the toss, bat first.
Yeah, win the toss, bat first, put 210, 220 on the board on a wicket like this and just kill it. Because you know, I mean, both teams will bat well. This is not Chennai Super Kings or Sunrisers Hyderabad that they will bat Kedar Jadhav or Riddhiman Saha and make a... It's not that. I mean, they will get their batting orders right. They'll put their firepower at the top and go for it. And as I'm saying, 200 is definitely par for Sharjah. But when you know that, and if there is no dew, then why not?
Listen, Boria, what about the universe boss? Everybody is waiting to watch Chris Gayle back in action. Is there any chance that Gayle is back? Because he just absolutely loves this ground.
Sushant, that's a very good question. That's a very, very good question. 2 years back in the Afghanistan Premier League, Chris Gayle actually hit the maximum number of sixes in that particular game. Maximum. He scored 80 with 10 sixes. So what did Jimmy Neesham do the other night? Hardly anything. Because you've got enough bowling in Cottrell, Shami, Bishnoi, Murugan Ashwin and Glenn Maxwell. Maybe you've got a spare bowler there as well. So why not give it to Chris Gayle? Or drop a Nicholas Pooran, because what is Pooran doing? You've got enough there in Karun Nair and Sarfaraz Khan. So get a Chris Gayle at the top. If he explodes, he'll kill you. So why not try with a Chris Gayle? I'd be very tempted to play.
Okay, finally, Boria, who's going to win tonight? I think Punjab has a little bit of an advantage as far as bowling is concerned, because up front, they've got absolute killers, Shami and Cottrell. But having said that, Rajasthan Royals with Buttler back, we have to see how Buttler plays. I think their batting is slightly better than Punjab. Slightly, I'm saying. Depends on Rahul again. Who's your favorite player? But I've got Rajasthan Royals today. I think they're the underdogs, but I'm backing Rajasthan Royals. You, I think, are going with Punjab, isn't it?
I'm going with Punjab because I think Delhi and Punjab look the two best teams in this competition so far. Punjab overall, I mean, look at that bowling, look at that batting overall. I mean, when you talk about KL, Mayank, Nicholas or Chris Gayle, Karun Nair, Glenn Maxwell, Jimmy Neesham, that's a better batting lineup in terms of overall depth. Rajasthan, it's Smith and of course Sanju Samson and Buttler, and then there's a bit of a hole there. So I would say, Robin Uthappa not in form, I would say Punjab.
Boria is going with Punjab, I'm going with Rajasthan Royals. It's time for a short break now, but after the break, that big exclusive interview. KL Rahul speaks to India today about captaincy. Super exciting game of cricket tonight. Rajasthan Royals, Steve Smith versus Kings 11 Punjab and KL Rahul. Let me tell you, last time around, when the Rajasthan Royals played CSK on the same ground in Sharjah, 416 runs were scored. But today, the big contest, we've already discussed, Jos Buttler versus Mohammad Shami. You've got Sheldon Cottrell on display today. You've got KL Rahul versus Jofra Archer. But I think what's going to be key today is not the batting. The batting, it's a batting heaven, but the bowling. The bowlers are going to win you the match. If Jofra Archer outshines Shami today, it's game towards Rajasthan Royals. If Shami outshines Jofra Archer, then it's advantage Punjab. So a high-scoring game, it must be a high-scoring game. Boria has already told you, 200 plus. Expect 210, 220. So absolute fireworks could be on display today. But once again, the bowling is the key. Boria,
Sushant,
do you agree with me?
Very interesting point you're making with bowlers. And very rarely do you see four leg spinners playing. So it's also Ravi Bishnoi and Murugan Ashwin versus Shreyas Gopal and Rahul Tewatia. In a T20 contest, to see four leg spinners playing is very, very rare. I don't think I remember four such leg spinners. And look at them, all youngsters. Ravi Bishnoi, Murugan Ashwin, not so young.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there on Ravi Bishnoi. You remember what happened last time, Ravi Bishnoi? I was making the point that I love this kid. And you said, he's too young. And he outperformed 3 wickets in the last game. So now have you changed your stance on Ravi Bishnoi today?
No. Hello. You were asking me about Ravi Bishnoi versus
AB de Villiers, yes. But he got Aaron Finch. Boria, come on, he got Aaron Finch.
And nothing to take away from that kid. But Sushant, let's not put him under pressure by saying Ravi Bishnoi versus Joss Buttler. Even if he takes Joss Buttler, you've got to be a little kind on the kid. But this contest, Ravi Bishnoi and Murugan Ashwin versus Tewatia and Shreyas Gopal might well decide this game, because it might well be a strategy to just play Shami out and Archer out. So that might be a strategy that, okay, give them the 4 overs because we've got the rest of the 16. And the rest of the 16 are these guys, 8-8. So who will win the battle of the 8 overs might well decide this contest.
You spoke about the spinners. What about the pacers? I think Jofra Archer is good enough. You can compare him with Shami or Cottrell. But Rajasthan Royals does not have that other pacer, the second one.
Don't underestimate Tom Curran. Don't. Because the slower ball, the back of the hand, the cutter from, he's got 4 different types of slower balls, Tom Curran. I'm a little disappointed with Jayadev Unadkat. Jayadev Unadkat and Umesh Yadav, for some reason, don't seem to learn and keep making the same mistakes, which is a tad disappointing because both have serious talent. But do not underestimate Tom Curran.
Right, Boria Majumdar, thank you so much. Boria has got Kings 11 Punjab. I've got Rajasthan Royals tonight. It's going to be an exciting game. Do watch it. But right now, an exclusive excerpt of an interview with none other than the Kings 11 Punjab captain, KL Rahul.
Tell me about leadership. I mean, you come across as this very composed, calm. आपको अगर देखता हूँ मैं cricket ground में, you seem to be in control. Yes, you also get upset or angry. For example, जब आप World Cup में उस semi-final में out हो गए, आपको देख के लगा that the whole world is crashing down like each one of us. But otherwise, आप control में. So when you think of leadership and KL Rahul as captain, there's the Mahendra Singh Dhoni kind of leadership. There's Virat Kohli, agitated, animated. There's the Rohit Sharma kind of thing. So what is your leadership philosophy? On one hand, you have some very experienced players in your side. You have Anil as coach. How do you model yourself as leader?
Quite honestly, it's too soon to answer this question. And it's too soon for me to say anything because it's something that I honestly haven't done in a long time. So I've captained my sides, like I've captained my state teams and all that. But this is a whole different format and it's a whole different level of cricket. So I don't know how I'll react. So honestly, that's something I'm looking forward to as well. And I'm going in with an open mind and try to do what I've been doing as a player. And I mean, I said this in a few interviews as well. Every player, I think, when they play cricket, everybody plays the game thinking as if they are the leader of the team. And, at a lot of times, I mean, last 6-7 months, I've been wicket keeping. So it gives me a chance to see where I can set the field or try to understand the game, assess the situation and try to see what decisions I could make that would help the team. And like you mentioned, all these big names as captains, I played under them, I played with them. And I've watched them on TV. So there's a lot of things that I've learned and picked from each one of them. And I think I'll go in with a very open mind to just keep things simple. And again, it's something that I will learn on the go, and it's something that you guys will tell me after this season what kind of a captain I was. Was I different from what you've seen, or what if I carried on to do the same thing that I did as a player and it just extended into a leadership role? So either way, so I'm as excited as everybody is, and I'm as looking forward to seeing myself in a leadership role, because I haven't seen how I react when when you're leading the team.
Well, it's time to wrap it up for tonight, but do watch that super exciting game, Kings 11 Punjab versus Rajasthan Royals. My money is on the Royals, but Kings 11 Punjab do seem like the favourites for tonight's game. Tell us what you thought about the show. Send us your feedback and we'll join you tomorrow 6:30 p.m. only on India Today.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.